Being a voice actor ain't easy. Aside from having to deal with the paparazzi all the time, people knocking on your door trying to get an autograph. But today, I wanted to talk about the 5 worst parts of being a voice actor. Now, a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is going to be coming from my experience, so you can kind of say it's tailored more towards those who are up and coming, intermediate, or maybe some of the stuff I say still applies to those who are actually in the industry. If you're in the industry watching this video, wow. Share some insight if you can. I boiled it down to 5 points. You bastards! You audition for a project that looks dope, you get the role. Nice. You see everybody that's a part of the cast, you excited, everybody's looking to grow. You probably even got the role of the protagonist or the deuteragonist. Or y'all don't even know what a deuteragonist even is. Did I even say that right? I don't know. But nonetheless, you get cast for something exciting. It's not every day that you get booked for a role. Big or small, it don't matter. As the bullet point of this first aspect said, the project is dead. Now the project owner probably gets overwhelmed with all the work that they have going on. Maybe they bit off a little bit more than they can chew with this project. Maybe they lose motivation. You get where I'm getting at, right? So many factors come into the point where a project can die, and you see it more so in the indie scene. I have joined my fair share of projects where it seems exciting, but in the end, it all falls through and you never hear anything about it. You watching this video, you probably already know. For a lot of indie projects, you get invited to a lot of Discord servers, and this is gonna segue into the next topic, but you get invited to a lot of Discord servers. So it's like once you're in this Discord server, they might give you an update. Welcome everybody, glad to have you. This is a really big project. We're gonna be doing boom, boom, boom. We're still working on this stuff. That's red flag number 1. A lot of times projects that do end up dying is sometimes because everything is not where it needs to be. That's why I feel like if you're casting for a project, voice actors need to be the very last thing that you do. But that's another story for another day. Can y'all hear that plane? Sound like a stunt plane. They're getting closer. There's been a lot of planes crashing lately. Then after they kind of give you the breakdown of how everything is going, days go by, you don't hear nothing. Oh no. Weeks go by, months go by. I've been in projects where it's been a year and no updates, but it's always that one person in the server who comes back and says, what's going on with this project? We still doing it? And then the project owner comes back and goes, oh yeah, about that. We're not gonna do it. Unfortunately, it happens. Even in the professional industry, from the research I've done, bigger actors do projects all the time. Sometimes it may not always come to see the light, but I mean, at least they're getting paid the big bucks to do that. I don't know. Speaking of Discord servers, and I feel like y'all can relate to this one. Now, a lot of times when you get cast for a project, they'll send you a Discord invite, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, it's mandatory. You gotta join the Discord server. And the more auditions you do and the more roles that you acquire, the more of a common theme you'll see that become. And it gets to a point where it's hard to manage how many Discord servers you're in. Now, I'm not saying this is all project creators, because there are some project creators who don't even create Discord servers, and then you have some project owners who will ask, like, hey, there's a Discord server for the cast, do you want to join? Because if you want to join, you'll be able to interact with all the other cast members, you'll be able to see project updates, work in progress. That's the same thing, project updates, work in progress. So stuff like that, if you want to be a part of that, that makes sense. But there's a lot of project owners who just invite the actors to the Discord server for really no reason. I mean, it makes sense if you want to drop information consistently so everybody can just see it, but a lot of times, I don't know, I don't want to make it seem like I'm ungrateful to be invited to Discord servers, because I know there's people who would kill to be invited in a server to interact with more people, and there's nothing wrong with that. The point that I'm getting at is when you're trying to take your skills to the next level in this endeavor, in this field, you're always going to be auditioning for the next project. That's why it's like when I get cast for something, I really don't get a high off of it, because I'm like, I'm grateful for it, yes, on to the next one. I don't got time to bask in this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just me, but I grew up playing basketball a lot, especially in tournaments. You win one game, you might play a max of 4 or 5 games today. So it's like, who cares if you won one game? Like, yes, you won. Now it's on to the next game. You got to focus. So maybe it's that mindset, but that's why when you're always auditioning for the next project, the more you audition for indie stuff, this is why I say that what I'm talking about is tailored for like newer and up and coming voice actors. Because when you're in that part of your journey, this is where this stuff is the most relatable. You know, you're always auditioning for something. And so for indie projects, they're always going to try and invite you to a Discord server. And again, nothing wrong with it, but it gets kind of annoying when you have a lot of Discord servers. This has happened on multiple occasions for me where maybe you've been in a drought, you've been auditioning, but nothing has really been happening. You ain't been hearing nothing back. And when you finally hear something back, it's like they break down, hey, this is your role. Submit your lines here. You get started. You hit it off great with the project owner. And then all of a sudden, you just don't hear nothing back. I feel like when you get ghosted after a casting call, it mainly happens when there's no direction. So it goes back on to the owner of the project where they probably started casting actors too early. And I get it, you get excited, you want to bring it to life, and so you kind of get ahead of yourself. And so when you finally have the actors, you realize like, oh shit, the script ain't even finished. Me personally, again, I'm always so on to the next one. If you do end up getting ghosted, I'm like, it is what it is. I've already auditioned for a bunch of other stuff. Maybe I'll hear back from them, maybe not, but I'm keeping myself busy. And I think that's the most important thing, is you want to keep yourself busy to the point where if you audition for something, you don't want to be dwelling, or even if you get cast for something, you don't want to be sitting around, well, I wonder if I did it. Because then when you don't hear back, you're only gonna get your feelings hurt even more. When you're first getting into voiceover, I feel like a lot of people can relate where, you know, you're excited because you don't know how this works really. So when you audition for a project, you see that deadline and it's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I check back on this deadline. I should expect an email, I should expect a message, something. And that time come and you don't hear nothing. It's like you waited for it. You thinking everything is gonna line up so perfect. You audition and they gonna reach out to you right then and there like, you're the one that I've been looking for. I've been waiting on you. But it don't work like that. When you don't get cast for projects, you start to wonder like, man, am I even good enough? And this don't even just apply to indie stuff. I used to have commercial agents, and I say used to because I had to let them go for my own personal reasons because of life, nothing bad. It ended on good terms. When I used to do commercial auditions, self-tapes, or even go for an in-person audition, I'm like, bro, I did my thing. The improv on that was fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like I was cooking in that audition room, or I cooked on that self-tape, or I cooked in that callback. When I tell you the amount of roles that I almost had that probably would've,
relax.
The point that I'm getting at is I've auditioned for stuff, and this is where I really felt the self-doubt and rejection creeping in, because when I audition for stuff for commercials and I feel like I really killed it, you get so many no's. It makes you wonder like, what am I doing wrong? But the thing with acting, y'all, and understand this, you can do everything right. You can do everything right. I kid you not, you can do everything right. But it could be the smallest reason as to why you don't get picked for something. So never doubt yourself when you're in this endeavor, because let me tell you something, you're gonna get a whole lot more no's than you do yeses. And if you've yet to like really get into this field, maybe you're thinking about getting into it, prepare yourself. And I'm not trying to discourage you, I'm just letting you know beforehand, because I don't want you to have to find out later. Sometimes it don't matter how good you are. Somebody may just not like your voice. And that's nothing against you. The next person may love your voice. A lot of times people don't even know what they want. You gotta show them like, no, I'm what you're missing. Don't come off cocky, but, and again, keeping yourself busy. Always keep auditioning, practice, do something to the point where it's like, man, I don't even have time to worry about that audition that I just did. Your life is much more than just doing auditions and voice acting. Live a little, you know, because experience in life is what's gonna help make you a better actor. I'm speaking like I'm 40, talking about live life. I barely lived life. You're working hard, maybe you are keeping yourself busy. You've been practicing, you've been taking classes, you've been auditioning, but nothing has really changed. You feel like you're not really getting better. I felt this myself where it feels like you've hit a ceiling, but I think what helps with this so that it doesn't feel like you're stuck is always having a goal, work towards something. Don't make it something that's necessarily out of your control, like, yeah, I'm gonna get an agent in 3 months, and once I get that agent, that's when things is really finna change. No, because it unfortunately doesn't happen like that. Like, it's not easy to get an agent. And I'm not knocking down anybody with those type of goals. I'm just saying, have goals where it's like you can actually control it, because you can't control what you get cast in. You can control how good you do your audition. For me, for example, I have yet to get an acting agent, so that's what I'm shooting for. I'm not necessarily giving myself no time limit, because I'm still figuring out that realm myself of what it takes to get one for voice acting. So what do I have to do? I still don't have a commercial demo. Now that's the calling card right there. That's what you need off tops. You need a commercial demo. So guess what? That's what I'm working towards. Practicing my commercial reads, taking commercial classes, commercial coach one-on-ones, whatever the case may be. I'm doing that to prepare myself to get that commercial demo to set me up for success. Things that you can control. Practice in those areas to improve your character reads, to improve your commercial reads. Study commercials. get better, record yourself tomorrow, see how you sounded yesterday, see how you can improve. That's where you see those small, I do this a lot, don't I? That's where you'll be able to see those milestones and see your growth. It's okay to dream big. I'm all for that. You gotta dream like you've never seen obstacles, but at the same time, if you want to touch the moon tomorrow, that's not realistic. You gotta work towards that. You gotta work towards touching that moon. You gotta train your legs, do some calf raises. This has turned it into a workout regime, but you get what I'm saying. So hopefully out of something that I said, it resonated with you and you probably experienced everything that I said. And if there's anything that I missed that you feel like is tough when you're coming up on your voice acting journey, feel free to leave it down in the comments so we can all have a big discussion. I know the last time I uploaded on this channel was like a year ago, February 22nd, 2024, I think. And again, life had gotten away, so it was nothing bad. Hopefully some of y'all are still here. I've been seeing y'all comments in the meantime since my absence, so I'm still here and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep growing. We all gonna make it together, man. I'm telling you. So just never give up. Keep going. Follow your dreams. Make it all happen. One audition at a time. But other than that, my name is June, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.